Hello and welcome to this Java video tutorial where we are going to be briefly looking at looping. So let's jump right in. So as we know, or maybe you do not know, loops in Java, we have three standard loops. We have the while, the do while, and for. Basically, the do while will always run once. We could talk about loops forever, but I just want to briefly go over them because in this particular Java series, I don't want it to be, going over every particular aspect. I really want to dive into some advanced topics. So we're just going to briefly go over the while loop in here because I feel it's the most important right now. Once you got this one, you should be able to pick up the other two. And we'll be using the other two throughout the series. So I wouldn't worry too much, but if you do have any questions, just let me know. Loops are very easy, so we don't have to worry about them too much. But as long as a looping condition is true, which like here, x is equal to 7, if x is greater than 3, then run this. And here I'm just printing out what x is. And then we come down here, we do x, which is 7, equals 7 minus 1. So then it goes to 6. Go back round, and then x is greater than 3, x being 6 at this point. And then we keep doing this until x is equal to, x is greater than 3. So this will stop at 4. So the last one that prints out here will be 4 because this will then go to 3 and then x will not be greater than 3, it will be equal to 3. So we could do if x is equal to or greater than 3 and make it run just one more time so we can see that we get the 3 statement printed. Here we do x is equal to 3, while x is equal, two equal signs to do the comparison as opposed to 1, which is an assignment. We go in here and we print x because x, which is 3, is equal to 3. So then we have x equals x again, 3 minus 2, and then we basically jump out of this because we basically know that x is no longer 3, it comes down to 2 because x equals x, which is 3 minus 1 equals 2. And it'll jump out here, and if we didn't have this line in here and here, basically what would happen, this would loop forever. So I'll give you an example of this. Let's jump into NetBeans. Let's have a look, that looks good. And then let's go ahead, I wouldn't recommend this, but it's good for testing purposes. Boolean test equals true. And again, we can't run this while loop without a conditional that is true, so we'll have to set this to true. Put while true. And regardless, even if we have this in here or not, it's still going to run because while is always true, and it's just going to give us an infinite loop. You see this running here. I better stop this before it crashes. But you see how it's just infinitely printing x because it's going. It'll start at 3, then just keep going down. You see how many times it ran. But even if we just like got this out of here and ran it again, we just get 3 all the time, simply because while the conditional that I'm putting in here is true. And for many cases, well, for 100% of cases, we can't do while false and come in here. This has to be true, this conditional that's going in here. And everything inside the while loop, which is the local to this particular while loop, has to come within these curly braces. So let's jump back into this slide. Few questions. Don't want to spend too much time on this topic because loops are very easy to pick up and we can just use them because they're very much like a natural language. So does everything in Java have to be in a class? Well, yes, Java is an object-oriented OO language, although not everything in many cases has to be class typed. And what I mean by that is there's certain blueprints we can use for objects, but there's certain other things we can use in Java, such as different styles, which are such things as like, don't want to get too technical, but like an interface, we can put things in there, only minor things, but it's still, it's still filling up with data or methods that we could implement based around like certain types. Try think of classes and interfaces of types as opposed to generalizing them. But 99% of the time we're going to be using classes. Does the main method have to be in every class? No, it doesn't. And a Java program can have 10, 20, 50, 100 or even 1,000 classes depending on how ambitious you want to get. But you can write different main methods just for testing, but generally I like to stay to one unless I've got a bunch of tests that I'm running. So what is the assignment operator? We saw the assignment operator in the previous slide, which was here. We're assigning x equal to 7. That's the assignment operator. And then we come to this question, what is the equals operator? Well, x is equals to 3. Basically, we call it, many people call it the equals operator, but it's the comparison operator. So I put this in here for layman's terms, but from now on, we're going to be calling it the comparison operator. Does a while loop run if a conditional test is false? As previously mentioned, no, it will not. We need a conditional test which goes in here to be true, or it will not run. But we will look at different loops, such as a do while loop, which will run at least once, regardless of the condition. So yeah, if this video is helpful, remember to subscribe and like the video. And if you do have any questions, drop a comment below, or you can tweet me at Carl Hadwin. And thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in the next one.